Yeah, it's Nick Shell, the internet receding hairline guy. I'm going to ask you this question because I really don't know the answer to this question. I really want to know the answer, and here it is. Is it safe to assume that most men in America, as they start losing their hair, ultimately don't care? That's my question. I don't know the answer to that, but I just remember back when I was 21 and in college in 2002 or 2003, telling my roommate, if I start losing my hair in my 30s, I'm just, even with wife and kids, I'll be the soccer dad that still has hair. I'll get a hair transplant. I'll do whatever it takes, but I'll still have hair. And then my roommate Jamie said, well, most men at that point, they don't care. They've got a job, they've got wife and kids, they don't care about something like that. I said, but no, I'll be different. I'll be the exception to the rule. I will still have hair. I'll find a way. I'll get a hair transplant because that's what rock stars do. So that was what I thought and said and believed at age 21 back in 2002, 2003, that era. And here I am in 2016, 35, married, 2 kids, real job, all that good stuff. And sure enough, I ended up being the stereotype that I said I wasn't going to be because I don't care about saving my hair. And I'm not going to save my hair, as we all know. So I became the stereotype. But that's how I saw most men back then. And is that true, though? I mean, does that hold up that most men just don't care enough to do anything to save their hair? Is that fair to say? I mean, I know that there's nearly 600 of you, by the way. I'm subscribed to my channel, and I'm very grateful for that. Please know that. I just wonder if the demographics of people subscribing to my videos, I wonder if that demographic, though, is a little bit skewed because it's people who are already kind of concerned and thinking about hair loss. So therefore, they're more likely to be focused on possibly, saving their hair. But outside of that demographic that I've collected through my subscribers, I wonder outside of that, as far as the rest of this world here, I wonder if most men just are like me and they don't care enough to do anything about it. Yeah, they know the options exist to save their hair, but it's just not a priority for them, and they just don't do anything about it. So is that normal? Is that normal? That's what I want to know. Do most men, as they lose their hair, especially in their 30s like me, where their life is already established, do most men just not care? It's not that they can't afford it. I mean, I'm not rich, but I make about the average amount of money that a man makes in Nashville, and my wife makes about the average amount a woman makes in Nashville. So I mean, I could afford it, but it's not the money. It's just I don't care enough. Am I normal to think that? Am I part of the majority is what I'm asking you. Am I part of the majority to be a guy who's losing his hair and could save it, but doesn't care enough to do something about it? Is that what most men end up thinking and doing? And therefore, by default, would it be the minority of men that do care enough to do something about it? Now, I know for the past couple of weeks, I've talked a lot about, why do people get stuff done for their hair? Is it based on insecurities? What is it based on? Okay, I'm moving past that now. Now, my question today is simply, what's more normal? Is it more normal to be like me, to be losing your hair and not care enough to do anything about it? Is that the norm? Is that the majority? And therefore, is it the minority that actually does something about it, even though they could? Wait, did I say that right? So let me say it one more time, because I don't edit my videos, Here's what I'm asking. Is it normal for men to not care enough to do something about their hair? And then therefore the minority are the ones actually doing something about it. That's what I'm asking you. Is the majority like me? They just don't care enough to do something about it. Even if they know about it or they think about it, they ultimately just don't care enough. Is that normal? Because I understand as the host of these videos that I'm like almost an antagonistic host, because I've got this audience of people, many of whom are open-minded to hair loss treatment, but then here I am saying, but I'm not going to do it. So I'm not really a good representation. Well, actually, I am a good representation of, I think, the whole society, but not necessarily a good representation of people watching my videos. Now, I could be wrong about that too. So I've given you some stuff to chew on. So go ahead and chew on it. Help me understand what I'm thinking in the comments here. Help me to understand, is it normal to lose your hair and not care? That's the easiest way I could ask the question that I'm trying to figure out. Is it normal? Does the majority simply, when they lose their hair, they just don't care anything about saving it and they just let it go, which is what I'm doing. Is that not normal? Is that not what most men do? That's my question. I need to know an answer so we can take this to the next level. All right, can you do that for me? I'm Nick Shell. I'm the internet receding hairline guy.